Everyone, hope you're doing well and welcome to another video of HTML and CSS complete course. So in this video we are going to create a responsive form using only CSS. So before jumping over to the main point, if you didn't subscribe my YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon so you get the notification of my new video when I upload them. Alright, so let's get started. So for creating our form, we are going to use just the topics that we have learned until this point. A form is used for adding some information or for registration in a new website when we visit like a Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. When you want to create an account, you need to add your information there in a form. This is why the form is very important in website. If you want to collect the information from user, first we are going to create a h2 element, so that will be responsive form, and after this we are going to create p element, and here I'm going to add some text. So this is a little bit information for showing the responsive form to the user. So after this we are going to create a div element, and let's create add the name to the class, which will be the container. And inside this container we are going to create a form. Excuse me, not this one, form. So for now what we are going to do, we are going to just we are not going to add any attribute. We are not going to use any attribute for now. I'm going to remove this, and inside the form I'm going to create another div which will be a row and column. So div row, and let's create another element div. This one will be column 25. So for now let me add a label as well. So label will be for f name. So name, first name. So that's it. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the same thing for first, or you can say for last name as well. So now outside the closing column div, I'm going to create another column. So let me create div column 75, and here I'm going to create an input. So this input type will be text, and instead so name will be f, first name, and I'm not going to add any value, and instead of value I'm going to add a placeholder attribute, your name. This will be a little bit information for the user to input his or her name. And after that I'm going to add, or let me add an ID at the beginning. So ID will be f name. So that's it. After this what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy these all. Let's copy this and paste it right here. So this will be raw, and instead of the f name I'm going to use the last name, which will be the L name. And let's add last name. This one is the same as well. Let's change this to last name. This one should be last name as well, last name, and the user your last name. And that's it for the last name. And now we are going to add another row So here we have created another div which is raw, and another inside the raw class we have another class which is column, and here we have create a combo box. So when the user click on the list, a list of a country should be pop-ups, and the user can select one of these countries. So as you can see, inside another div I have created a select element, and here I have some countries option for the user. He or she can select one of these. Here what I'm going to do, I'm going to create another div element, div raw, and div column 25, and let me scroll down this, and let's create another label. So this label is for subject. So here I'm going to create a text area, subject, so that user can add more than one line text. Another column, and here I'm going to create the text area. Here we go, elements. So the name, first I'm going to add the ID for it. The ID is subject, name is subject as well. So this raw, these are 8 row and 80 columns of size we are going to add for our text area. So after the closing text area, what we are going to do, so after the closing text area we are going to break line here, and here I'm going to create another div, which one will be raw, and I'm going to add an input. So this one will be input. So I'm going to add the submit, remove the name, we don't need this, and let's add the value submit. Alright, so before jumping over to the CSS section, let me first check how it looks. So as you can see, this is the simple HTML form that we have created right now, and this one, as you can see, is the combo box or the select section of the HTML code, and these are the options that I have added into this combo box. And this is the text area, which has 8 rows and 18 columns, 80 columns, and this is the submit button. So now let's jump over to the CSS section, and here we are going to add some style into our form. First I'm going to add a box size, will be border box, and after this I'm going to select the input, and here I'm going to only target the text area. Equal text and comma, let's select the element as well, and text area. So as you can see, this is the input section. Let me show you this at the beginning. This input, here we go, and the type text, this explains that only select this input section. And let's show you the select, and this is the select element, and this is this text area. Here we go. So now let's add the width will be 100%, padding will be 12 pixel, border 1px, solid, this color, and resize vertical And now let's select the label, and padding will be 12 pixel by 12 pixel, 12 and 0. And let's add display inline block. Alright, so now let's check the input as well. So input, here I am again selecting only the type of the submit, so that I say that only select the submit section of the input. So background color is going to be the background color should be 2. Let me yeah, this one is the background color of that submit button. So color will be white, padding 12 px by 20 px. And let's add border. Let's remove the border, and here let's add the border radius. Border radius will be 4 pixel, and cursor should be pointer, and float right. And let's add the width as well. So the width will be 100%. And let's remove this float right. Alright, so that's it. Now we are going to target only the submit button when we hover the cursor. So input, type, submit, and let's hover. So when we hover the cursor, the background color should change to this color. Alright, so now let's target the container, and let's add border radius 5px, and background color should be this color, and padding will be 20 px. After that, let's target the column -25 class. Let's add a float left, and width will be 25%, excuse me, not pixel, %, and margin top will be 6 px or pixel. Now let's target the column 75, float left, width 75%, and margin top will be 6 pixel. Let me scroll down this, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to clear the floats after the column. So let's select raw, and let's select after. Content will be empty, and display table clear both. So it will clear after this 75, or excuse me, after the float section. And So now let's save this and let's check how it looks. So when we refresh the page, as you can see, this is the design for now. When we hover the cursor, so we need to add some more things. So now I'm going to add the media query to change this into a responsive so that it will be fit on the any type of a window that you use. So for this I'm going to use the add, or we can say media screen, and I'm going to use the max width 600 pixels. So this means that when the windows or the screen is smaller than 600 pixels, column 25, column 75, and input should be type submit. Your width should be 100% and margin top should be 0. And let's save this. So now let me change the over. Here you go. Let me use this color here, and now let's save this and let's refresh the page. So when I over the cursor, as you can see, and when I change the window to the small size, here we go, here it is. You can see the text and the form is resizing itself to adjust to the window. So that's it. Let me change this into 70. Alright, so that's it. Change the window into a small screen device, as you can see. So this is the uses of the media query, and when here we can select any of these country you prefer. So that's it. Hope you understand, and hope you learned something from this video. So hit the like button, leave the comment, and don't forget to subscribe.